Hi everyone, we're back with part 2 of our green screen tips and tricks series. Now we're going to focus a little bit more on how you can actually combine some of these features with export and create a little bit more with your green screen. So you can pick out parts of your videos that you've made with SHAREfactory and then pull them back in, apply green screen as you need to. So for this first tip, we're going to go and show the ink blot, actually one that I asked about. This is a game called The Unfinished Swan. It's a storybook game where basically you throw ink splatters around everywhere to actually find your way through hidden mazes of nothing but a white environment. So what you can do here is use the new 2 color filter with this. So I'll show you the video game clip real quick. So as you go through, you can just throw it down ink blots and then just randomly, all as you go through, punch out little black areas throughout the entire game. So what you can do here is add the new 2 color filter. And so what 2 color does is it segregates game clips into light and dark values, like 2 primary colors. So if I did it over here to Second Sun, we go over and add 2 color filter now, and it kind of makes this black and white area, but it's not just black and white. If you went into settings, you get this threshold ability, so you can say how much light value and how much dark value, and you tell it where it actually draws that line between. But you can also change the colors of each, so you can say this is what I want the dark values to be, this is what I want the light values to be, and so you can switch this around and then continue to do this tolerance thing to actually switch between. So this is what we're going to use. I'll go ahead and delete this filter off real quick because this isn't exactly the clip we're going to use. So the first thing you want to make sure of is that this is the only clip in the actual timeline that you're going to have. That way you are able to export it cleanly without any other having to wait on anything else to actually complete the process. So we'll split this out real quick. We'll delete the stinger. So this is the only thing in the timeline actually we have. Now we apply 2 color to this. It's automatically applied now, even though right now it's not going to look like anything's there. It actually is already applied. We add filter settings, and now we're just changing the black to green. So now that this is actually in green, what we'll do is we'll export this. So our export process complete, and we go ahead and exit this project. So now that we're back in our main project, we go to the add to track 2 timeline. So we add clip, and we add the game clip over top of whatever we're wanting to overlay. So we go to edit mode real quick, and we say adjust mode, green screen. So we're automatically now cutting out the exported image. We're cutting out the image underneath with the black ink spots. So if you aim this right, you could probably get this into a nice transition or something that you actually want to do. A little effect that you can actually throw on your own. So this tip's going to be an expansion on the last one. And this is the game Valkyria Chronicles. So their entire premise of their engine is that they make their game look hand-drawn the entire time. So this has a drawing animation of the Enderwise tank and then goes into an entire sketch. What you can do here is the same thing. You use the 2 color filter again. So you get it into a simple project with just that clip. You add 2 color. You seek to a place where you can see what you need to see, because at first, because it's such a light drawing, you're not going to see very much. So you're going to have to adjust the tolerance to something a little bit more appropriate for what you need. And you switch the colors now. The lines to white and the background to green. Apply. And you would use the tolerance feathering to actually tweak this just a little bit. Let's go with that feathering just a little higher. That gets a little better detail. Export complete, so you exit this project now and return to your main one. So now you're going to add what you like, what you wanted beneath. And so I kind of got this idea from the old 1980s Cosmos with Carl Sagan. And if you add a screenshot with stars, and just to tweak this a little bit more, we'll just change some options down a little bit. Speed to something nice, a little subtle, and just reduce the density. So that's something a little bit better I like. Trim it out. Now we go to add track 2, and we add the export that we just made again. Edit mode, adjust mode, and we switch it to green screen. Make sure, always remember to make sure that your PIP is in full screen if you're going to do some stuff like this. So now we come back, and we have a nice hand-drawn animation, very reminiscent of a few old documentaries that I'm very partial to. Okay, for this last one, this kind of came up recently because I never really thought about this before until it just got asked, actually. So all the text only uses a basic color. However, if it just uses a basic color, there's no reason green screen and these same previous tips can't work in the same way. So here's what we're going to do. You come into a clip, and we'll just use this DRIVECLUB toggle clip because it's got a nice area that's actually defined for that kind of thing. We add some text, so just some basic, let's say Chroma Key text. Move it down to this area, and again, this isn't really necessary, but still. So now here's something that you want to keep in mind as well. Again, back to that whole thing about keeping in mind the color that's behind me. I could use green right now, but there's a lot of green and a lot of blue in these clips. So let's use something that's actually a little bit more standoutish. So let's use a magenta actually. So something around 300, I believe. So that's a good stark, contrasty color against all the other colors in the actual video. I go ahead and go to export. Export complete. I can actually just stay in this project just to show this off. So we add some clip that we, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. So I go to add, let's just say, a gradient. Okay, let's just make it a little stark. And let's change the angle just to be fun with this. Okay, so now we go into track 2 and we add that clip that we just made again right back in. So we go now into adjust mode. We apply green screen, and again it's just looking for something to chroma key out. Go back, and now we have chroma keyed in or gradient text. So let's just keep taking this farther. We're just going off of what's in track 1 right now. So I could really add whatever video game clip I want underneath this. So let's just keep it DRIVECLUB. Say, let's go with the intro clip actually. So that should do it for part 2. If you guys have any questions, be sure to leave a comment, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Later.